Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Arc Linear Pendant. This is going to be the 13, 1311. Lots of other arc fixtures in the line. There's some great sconces that will work with this, so check them out in our interior sconce section. Let's get into the size of the fixture body itself, and that's going to be independent of what it's hanging from, which are these rods, 21.8 inches high. The length on it, left to right, is coming in at 43. They say it's the width, 17.7, but to me it's really the depth of it going out. The overall height, now the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling as standard product with what you're going to be getting to begin with, that's going to give you a range. And the shortest this can be is 27.3. Longest is going to be 57.3. So that said, this is going to ship with about 10 feet of wire. And if you need it to be longer than 57.3, what you can do is just simply order extra kits. And these kits are of these rods, and how these rods work. So we'll look at it really quick, and then we'll go look at the install instructions. So these have threading on both ends on the inside, and then what holds them together are exactly what you think it is. It's called a connector, and that has threading on both ends as well. So to show you more about this, let's look at the installations instructions. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen, midway down actually, and you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. Open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you how these work basically, and how these do work is you're going to be getting a series of these pipes, and you're going to be using different combinations to kind of get to your target overall height from the ceiling to the bottom of the fixture. There's a chart over there too. It's on our page. It's also on the installations instructions, and it's going to show you which combination of rods you're going to use to get as close to that overall height as you can. So, take advantage of that if you can for me. And how you basically use these is you're going to be feeding the wires through the pipes separately, and then you just screw them together. It's really super easy. They go together like this, and once you get them together, there's barely a seam. You can barely see it. I can barely see it here. So, if I can't see it, you can't see it. So let's kind of go with that. So you're going to be getting 4 pieces of the 12, 2 pieces of the 6, and 2 pieces, let's start over again. 4 pieces of the 12, 2 pieces of the 6, 2 pieces of the 3. Remember, you've got 2 pipes going up, so just kind of keep that in mind when you see these numbers. And then, like I said before, you can always order additional kits. They're not very expensive, and they're very easy. Just contact us via email to do that. So that is that. So I want to talk about something else that you see on that installations instructions PDF, and it's going to be the canopy on the ceiling, and that's going to be coming in at 5 inches by 27. So that's going to be line voltage. There's no transformer, there's no driver in this, it's just regular line voltage. You're going to notice that the back of that's going to go on your junction box. There's other places on that canopy where you're going to be attaching it to your ceiling. Good drawings on that installations instructions for you to see the inside of that. Take advantage of that if you can. If you're working with a slope ceiling, drop me a quick email, sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, or call 802-446-2400, because I want to walk you through how we do slope. This is slope ceiling adaptable in one direction only, so we want to make sure that what you're doing is going to work that way. If your project is not working within the parameters of how this works as standard product, we do customs to make it work in all kinds of slope applications. So best thing to do is just give a call, and I can walk you all through it. Okay, let's move on from there. Let's talk about the glass really quick on this. It's going to be using white swirl glass. It's called slump glass, and artists make this for Hubbardton Forge. It's very thick. It's basically a 10 by 10 sheet of this swirly glass that's set into a kiln, drops into the mold, and gets you that nice curve, hence the word arc, right? So that's what that's all about. What I want to talk about next is let's talk about what's going on inside of this for lamping. You're going to be using, how many of these? 8 of these porcelain sockets. This is a type B chandelier socket, and we all grew up with these all our lives. We all saw these, and they're the smaller base. It's not the medium base, it's a small one. You can get bulbs for this everywhere. CVS, Home Depot, True Value Hardware, Amazon. My grocery store in Vermont has them, so if I can get them, you can get them. And I can even get the LEDs in my grocery store here in Vermont in the middle of nowhere, so they are everywhere. Very easy to get. You'll notice you've got a 60 watt max for incandescent on each of these sockets. Some of you might use incandescent, which is still, very pretty, and you can put this on a dimmer, don't forget, so don't be afraid to do that. You can do a flame tip, you can do a torpedo tip, You can do frosted, you can do clear. It's really up to you. When we talk about LEDs, the only limit is really the bulb getting into the fixture itself, the size of the bulb. And most of these LEDs that are like this, these type Bs, the torpedoes, this comes as a flame tip too. These are going to max out at a 60 watt equivalent, and I think the actual amount of electricity going into them is probably 4 or 5 watts at the most. So that said, there's no limit, like I said, to what you can put in these, and you can get these LEDs everywhere. You're going to notice when you're out in the world that these LEDs are going to be offered in different colors of light, and I talk about that in every single video. So 2700 Kelvin, that's going to be a super yellow light. That's like the setting sun. Could be very pretty in this. However, way on the other side of that is called daylight, and daylight sounds like it's warm. It's not a warm light. That's like that overcast day when it's very blue outside, and that's kind of like a hospital waiting room light, right? So that's going to be 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. Some people love it. I don't think it'll look great in this. It's good for other applications like your car headlights. But anyway, in the middle of all that, what's called warm white, and warm white is what we use in our showroom all over the place in here. Warm white is just like the glow of an incandescent bulb. It has a really nice warmth to it, and that's 3,000 Kelvin. So when I'm out looking for bulbs for this, and I tend to go for the LEDs, I tend to go for a 3,000 Kelvin, 3,000 K, dimmable, either a 60 watt or a 40 watt. Don't forget, you've got 8 of these, so 40 watts are probably going to be easier to find out in the marketplace. It's probably all you need, and you are good to go. Let's get into finishes now. If you're on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over on this side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a tab. It's going to say Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. There's going to be a video on there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be talking about a chart a little farther down on the page. You'll see it next to me here. It's going to kind of go over the differences between heavy forging and non-heavy forging, and it'll be talked about in that video. So it's really important that you kind of watch the video, use the chart. You can click on that chart on different things. So you can click on dark smoke and a big page will pop up and show you lots of different things in dark smoke. Click on burnished steel or natural iron, it'll do the same thing. But it's really important that you understand how Hubbardton Forge's finishes are kind of divided into translucent and opaque, and how they can look on different fixtures. Our showroom in Vermont has we're up to 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's on Display page. It's way up there in those red tabs again, so click on that and you can see what we have to show you. That changes all the time because we're always adding things as they come out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. We have an amazing clearance center here too. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you were coming to visit us, bring a good-sized vehicle, something like a big SUV or maybe a small truck or something like that, because you might find something in the clearance center that you want to take home, and it's a lot of fun to go through. 75% off MSRP is an amazing bargain, so you should really take advantage of it if you can. Like I said, we're open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call us at 802-446-2400 during business hours. You can email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. We love to answer emails. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else even comes close to that. Some larger items are non-returnable. We'll always tell you about that. It'll be in the description thing, that part of the description underneath on the very bottom. So keep an eye out for that. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. They don't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes, your adjustable ranges to play with, all those things. We can cut that time in half, and it's super inexpensive. If you want to know more, drop a quick email, and I can walk you through the whole thing, okay? So, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Love to see you in our showroom sometime, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.